I don't know what our fastest game is going to be here for MSC, but it could start off here.
Well, let's find out as we head on into the game. Our very first match to kick things off here for the Mid-Season Cup 2025 here at the Esports World Cup 25. Let's kick things off with TLPH on the blue side up against Ultra Legends on the red side. Now, as we all know, CarlTZ has been known to be that guy. The GOAT.
The GOAT.
When it comes down to Lancelot plays.
He didn't use the skin.
He didn't use the skin, but to be fair, this skin is also very, very nice. I personally went out of my way to get the diamonds to buy it as well, so I totally understand it. Me and CarlTZ, same mindset.
Same mindset. Basically, you're just as good, right? Flicker already. Look at the aggression. This might be a first blood already for CarlTZ, but he's checked from Quanok, so they'll back off, but they're going to get the Lithwander.
Oh, what was that? That was a little janky, I'm not going to lie. That was a little, I'm going to quickly look back. Nobody called for a tech pause, so it seems that both sides still trying to adjust to their devices in their hands. Regardless, right? No first bloods coming through, minimal damage, but at the very least, for Quanok, he's going to be a little bit behind on that EXP. He probably only missed, like, what, 1 minion at this point? Yeah. Not that big of a deal.
Okay, looking at the emblems too, I mean, this is the thing, he's going with the killing spree. He's actually got that extra speed too. I think the Phoveus as well. The Phoveus and got a contract for Team Liquid. I feel like give them a safe either engage or disengage to deal with all this utility. Sanji's gonna feel it here in the mid lane. The rest of the team on the response. CarlTZ will go in for some pokes, and JP just around the corner, charging up the Unbreakable, but won't land it on Rice Crimp.
What was... okay. Maybe I think Team Liquid need to take a step back here. They're thinking like Ultra Legends are on a different level because he's making hard predictions, right? He could have just gone into a straight line. If he played it absolutely straight, he would have gotten all 3 with the top. But now we come up to our very first turtle here. Level 4 is not achieved, as you can see.
Oh, whoa! Sanford already going to jump in. Infernal Pursuit on Quanok. He's going to be gone already. Throwboy, popping the heavy spin. He'll get the turtle, though. Turtle secured by Ultra Legends. Meanwhile, still, CarlTZ actually falls. Now the rest, TLPH, are still gonna go for the fight. Circling Eel drop down. They go in. Throwboy joining the fight again. So tanky for Sanford, but Farrell joining the fight. Oheb rotated up as well. They're being outgunned here as Ultra Legends picks up a little bit of lead on that.
Yeah, a bit of a bad fight here. Ultra Legends even calling over the Kimmy to almost ensure that they win that fight at the very end. The cleanup was very, very good. Dark Lord honestly played an extremely strong game here. Oh, but they find a trade back, at least 2-2, the current score line.
Leave it up to Sanji on the far side to just make something happen. You know?
I mean, they needed to get something back, right? Because let's look at this one more time. Because in that fight alone, CarlTZ, I mean, the whole team of Liquid is looking to fight. They're looking to get as many possible kills as they can. While on the opposite end, Ultra Legends are looking to play for neutral objectives. If they're able to find these punishers like how Dark Lord does, then it's not too bad. It doesn't feel as awful.
Oh, bottom lane, a little bit of action here too. Looks like that was a jump out. We're still here on this replay, but there's a lot going on in the gold lane. So JP had to burn his Avatar of the Guardian. I think they were trying to make a play on Oheb here, but the rest of the team's going to be making their way. See if Ultra Legends still goes for this, or they just get some extra gold off the turret.
JP's here to try and alleviate the pressure, right? But I don't think they're going to commit too hard.
Yeah, they just clear this out. Minion's going to be cleared out, but they want to force a fight anyway. JP thrown out against the team. Pops to revitalize. CarlTZ will now join the fight. They're going to get disengaged, though, with Guiding Wind, so they're fine. Ultra Legends will escape that situation.
Okay, nicely done, because in terms of priority, it's very clear that Team Liquid want to play it towards the top side of the map. They want to make sure that Sanford can do whatever he wants, right? They want him to have a gigantic lead against Dark Lord. But despite that, that bottom side for Ultra Legends, recognizing, hey, if they want to win on that top side, sure, but if we send enough people down to the bottom, we can hurt Oheb.
Okay, second turtle of the game up. They're going to go in again with the taunt. They force out the circling eagle. Still going to be breaking it out, but Rice Crim already going to fall now. Sanford up in the front of it all. Dark Lord, though, goes in with Final Slash. He finds Oheb, and Pharaoh will pick up a kill. Now Sanford has to flicker out. Ultra Legends going toe-to-toe here with Team Liquid.
And they're doing a phenomenal job, right? A lot of battle spells burnt from the side of Team Liquid. The tempo in favor of Ultra Legends. And despite everything that has happened in the early games to try and hurt the laners, it feels like Ultra Legends maintain this lead. So far, it's an ult-dependent game, right? Keep an eye on those green dots on the side because we're going to go in potentially for one more fight. I don't know if Carl wants to be anywhere close to this turtle right now.
Yeah, we still got Oheb down at the bottom. Dark Lord's gonna flicker out. Carl's looking for a kill himself. We'll find Dark Lord, a revitalized pop from JP. They might reinitiate it. Sanford's up in the front of it all. Throwboy pops the heavy spin though. Sanford in trouble, and Rise Crim still up. As Carl Teasy looks to get the kill, goes in, finally clears it out. JP jumps in, can't land the taunt though, so he's whittled down at 1 HP. Turtle's still for the taking, Oheb. Now part of the fight will force Ultra Legends back. So Team Liquid wanted that turtle, they fought for it.
They're not looking to go toe-to-toe in terms of, I will out-retry you, I just need to get a man advantage. And you can see, right, Carl Teasy, he needs to go in and out of these fights. He needs to start initiating for his squad. Now, we're going to call for a tech pause here. Not entirely sure what is going on. We'll keep you guys updated as the information starts streaming in. But Naisu, the way that these fights have been going, I think that Ultra Legends, right, they saw Carl kind of go into the middle of the fight. They realized, hey, this is a bait. We need to wait for an opportunity to jump with the heavy spin. And then the formation started to break once the heavy spin started to come out.
You see what I mean, though? It's like it's an interesting thing with this because when you look at the fights break out, Ultra Legends does really good at kind of pushing and pulling. That's what the lineup is going to do for them, especially when you have a Matilda on your side. I just feel like sometimes, like I was expecting from the draft, they get a little too split up, maybe, and then Team Liquid is starting to figure that out. As we see each fight break out, they're lining things up. And meanwhile, Oheb tried joining that fight, but he was just a little bit too late to the party. He did just pick up a Sky Piercer as well before we had this. And so that's the main thing. Is he going to be able to start to get stacks? Because Oheb is someone that they really want to watch out for as this game continues on here. He's pretty much had an opportunity to just go ahead and farm up, albeit that little bit of pressure. Whoa, Farrah already trying to get out of there with a flicker. So this is the attention now on this bottom side.
It's clear that Sanji has enough damage despite only just completing his first item. He should be able to, pick up kills whenever he feels like it. But more importantly, they're trying to unlock Oheb. They realize that, hey, Sanford can get into the middle of these fights, but this Matilda is a little too annoying. Quinnock, especially with the Fury of the Phoenix, on top of the heavy spin, there's just a lot of disengage from the side of Ultra Legends. The only other way to beat them is if you can chase them down, and they definitely need that Death Sonata to do so. That slow is such an important tool.
Those are two big item pickups too here, defensively for Team Liquid. So that's a Radiant Armor for each, one for Sanford and one for JP. They are the guys that we see, putting themselves in these fights as they have to. Couple shots for Rise Crim. Oheb looking for that. Rise Crim, one hit away. He'll actually survive it. So looked close there.
Yeah, Oheb the spacing just wasn't there. He thought he killed him 2 times and just backed off just before the shots actually connected. But it's totally okay, right? Because now they've already put some good damage on that mid-tier 1. Maltese's already a level 12. He's out-farming Throwboy as expected. But this 3-level lead off of that initial fight, this is the Team Liquid that we know and love.
Yeah, so they have, these small situations have compounded at this point up to a 3,000 gold lead. They're going to fight once again. A Feathered Airstrike drop down. They want to clear out this mid lane. Throwboy jumping into the fray, pops the heavy spin, and once again, everyone thrown around. Throwboy's going to go down and jump into the turret from JP. He'll get the Unbreakable off, and Farrah goes down. Dark Lord takes the front of the damage as Oheb picks up a kill. They're going to pick up the turret in mid lane off of it.
And now the experience for Team Liquid is starting to shine through. Ultra Legends are reacting too much to what Team Liquid is trying to do. Preemptively, right? They need to wait just a little bit longer. If they waited for a half second, they would understand that even Team Liquid doesn't really want to put themselves in a compromised position. Because look at this, right? We see the initial knock-up coming in from Sanford, but he doesn't take the Infernal Pursuit. As soon as we see Zitian drop down the Fury of the Phoenix, it felt like Ultra Legends had to make something out of it, right? It's a super long cooldown. They don't want to give another turtle away. They force the fight, and that's when Team Liquid are in full control. They force you into these scenarios as long as you react.
Yeah, really difficult to kind of see how those fights break out for Ultra Legends, because you're seeing where that kind of patience that we saw from Team Liquid earlier in the game has compounded up to this point. They're able to go ahead and just kind of outgun and out-survive a lot of the members right now. Again, they're going to try to force them off of this tier 2 turret. So with this kind of lead, it's up to Team Liquid to just kind of take what they want, and we're seeing Ultra Legends try to maybe respond to that and be a little hesitant.
I mean, they're extremely hesitant, right? They saw what happened in that last fight. They reacted too much to it. And now with that 3-level lead, it's even clearer that Throwboy can't... Oh, hold on.
Whoa, JP jumping in the turret. It's going to get stunned for the Fury of the Phoenix. Pops the Revitalize, but will go down anyway. Sanji dropping down, covering fire with a feathered airstrike.
Oh!
And Carl TZ goes in, cleans up a couple kills, gets a double. Does enough damage under the turret. They're under the tier 3. They don't care. Oheb goes in, gets a double himself. Team Liquid.
That was too clean. That was too clean. I mean, Ultra Legends had the correct idea. Take out JP, take out Samper, separate the front line and the back line. And then you have an opportunity to force Carl, force Oheb in positions where they need to go out of their way and overextend to make it happen. But Team Liquid, they've got the mechanics to back themselves up. They have the lead to make sure that these waves are fully utilized, especially for someone like Carl, because Lancelot, he loves those waves.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to be expected, I guess, with a Lancelot where you're under like tier 2, maybe tier 3, but then Oheb jumping in on the action too. That just shows once again that they have gone into the Stampede form, this form that they're used to showing in a lot of the competitions that we've seen Team Liquid play in. So this gives them a massive lead. This is going to be a Lord in their hands. And Ultra Legends is going to have to hang on here.
Hey, man, when the SSJ, the trio, takes some damage, that's when you call in the baby cakes. And so far, it's working out perfectly. Oh, my God.
Daddy JP jumping on in, taking out Throwboy. He's going to be fine. Pops through a Vitalize. They're going to work on this turret. Shield's going to go down. Dark Lord won't find that final slash either. So they have to get ready. Even without the Lord, Team Liquid marching into the base, looking to end game 1 in a quick fashion. Top turret gonna be worked on, and Ultra Legends will hold on for as long as they can.
They know how to push up the pace. 12K gold lead. This is a checkmate scenario unless Ultra Legends can make it to 42. But every single time they walk out, that feathered airstrike reminds them you can't walk up.
Okay, without the feather airstrike, I don't know if Team Liquid's going to be able to end the game unless they can turn this fight completely in their favor. Dark Lord could be in trouble. Final Slash going to be used. Has to flicker defensively. Carl TZ doing work under the turret. Won't find the kill though, so Lord's still going to be worked on, and that's fine for Ultra Legends. It looks like they found themselves staying in the game.
Okay, we need to pull up the item list. I'm curious to see whether Rice Cream has the... Oh, hold on. Another feather airstrike coming up because Granok is standing too close for comfort.
Again, jumping on in, flicker burn, forcing the fight on the turret. JP will get taken out, separated from the team. Sanford down the front of all. Dark Lord also low. Forced out a flicker, but Oheb still going to be unleashing. Finds a kill on Dark Lord. There's another defensive flicker from Ultra Legends, but they're still holding Team Liquid at bay from ending the game. But all base turrets will be worked on here. Sanji, one hit away on that turret. It won't go down just yet. And Throwboy taking a little trip there with the guiding wind.
Sanji, last auto attack, gonna take out the final inhibitor from Ultra Legends. This is such a difficult position because Ultra Legends have to make choices, especially when you're pushed in at checkmate angle. You have to decide, do I lose inhibitors or do I lose the game? And 100% of the time, teams will say, I would rather lose an inhibitor than the game. They do buy a little bit of time for themselves, but the inevitable is coming. We look at the items and quickly realize that, hey, a Sky Piercer pickup coming in from Pharaoh. Kind of interesting here, a little dangerous, I'm not gonna lie, but we do see that the Flask of Oasis has already been complete, and that's been why we've been seeing more aggressive moves from Dark Lord.
Oh. These are also still the aggressions from Team Liquid. Carl TZ going on the backside. They're forcing Chaos alone. A jump from JP. Finds multiple members. Throwboy's going to be gone, and they're going to work on Dark Lord next. Dark Lord falls. They'll come in for the cleanup as Team Liquid will go ahead and take game 1 in this best of 3.
Really nicely done from Team Liquid. We get to see what they are all about. Tempo-based combat. They have the lead. They will press it down your throat until they have checkmate angle. But Ultra Legends, that early game, honestly, not that bad. They were really going toe-to-toe with these guys. TLPH probably wasn't expecting them to be as confrontational.
Yeah, I mean, they had the utility-heavy, very tanky early game lineup that is designed to mess up early game aggressive rotations. But there was one thing that Ultra Legends forgot. Taking care of their mid-game power spike. I feel like they were a little bit too early with going for the 5-man rotations. Because even though Pharaoh had the lead up against Oheb at one point, since Oheb went to, okay, you guys are going to stick us 5? Okay, 4 members of my team are going to go. I'm just going to farm. Pharaoh was a little bit to be busy joining the rest of the team.
I mean, I got to give it to Ultra Legends, right? I don't mind teams going for these 5-man rotations, like calling in Pharaoh to kind of get involved. If he gets a single assist, it's not too bad if you're giving half away your gold shielding over to Oheb, considering that you could also get a bit more from that mid lane at the same time. But here's the thing, right? If we're talking about the micro, I think the biggest problem we saw from Ultra Legends was the overcommitment.
Yeah.
Not only the overcommitment, but kind of just throwing everything at the wall. And the question is, but why, right?
I was going to say, Gideon, like, and part of that, you know, pun intended or not, Throwboy was literally throwing himself into a lot of these fights because he was maybe the guy that wanted to go ahead and split them up or try to set things up. But like I was saying, you have so much utility that maybe it's almost just an overload, right? And a lot of the times when we see these later fights towards that mid game, towards the late game, it was Team Liquid just knowing that power spike timing that they worked against. They knew that once certain utility was used, then they could actually respond to it really well and collapse down. And I think they saved some of their major crowd control, whether that was JP jumping in towards the back, Carl TZ making that angle with the Lancelot is what worked out so well for them.
I think it's the tunnel vision that really hurts me when I see a composition like this. Because again, you have an Arlot who literally has everybody on your side, on your composition, to trigger your passive, which is amazing. That means you get to use that vengeance basically for free all the time, but he's never the first in the fight. Every single time we see Throwboy come in, make that initiation, it looks good. Zitian suddenly drops her out, and you're like, but why? You could hold that for a little bit longer. And even Kimmy as well, with the traction pulse, you're looking specifically for the feathered airstrike 90% of the time. You're not looking at using it as a quote-unquote initiation tool, more so to disengage.
Yeah, it felt like all the abilities that Ultra Legends were throwing, it's as if they were acting that they already had a high damage carry online and ready to go.
Yeah.
But then, as we saw early on, yes, again, you delayed the eventual power spike of the Team Liquid lineup, but then you didn't set up Pharaoh enough for success. Your one core damage dealer. Again, Liquid's lineup has 3 core damage dealers on them. The Granger, the Farsa, and the Lancelot.
And that's why I say it was so, you know, in a sense where you were allowed to be that trigger-happy Farsa. You know, you can just go ahead and drop down the feathered airstrike every single time it's up. And that's what we saw Sanji do, because he knows that, all right, Carl TZ, Oheb, they can go ahead and clean up, or they can go ahead and even have enough damage that if he doesn't have the feathered airstrike, and it's a pretty quick cooldown later on towards the end of the game, where he was fine.
Yeah, I have to say though, for the lineup of Ultra Legends, I do like what I saw for the first 2 to 3 fights. You could tell, like, okay, wow, Dark Lord is very clear in his role here of when he's going to use his final slash. All right. But then we didn't see like the progression of that, the growth of that. Like, their strategies were great for the early game in terms of delaying the tempo. But then once it got to the mid game, once Liquid has items, you're gonna have to change things up.
Well, here's the thing, right? That's where we see the big difference in experience between both of these squads. We saw that Team Liquid with the lineup that they had. They're like, oh, it's very topside heavy. Like, EXP should technically smash, right? Like, Samford should be winning against Dark Lord in the lane matchup alone. And therefore, with a little bit of help coming in from Sanji and the San start working together, you know how that usually pans out. But that wasn't the case this time, right? And I think Liquid recognized that very, very quickly. We saw the Steel Leggings almost bought immediately from the side of Samford. He could have gone into War Axe and been a true damage dealer, but there wasn't enough of a snowball, and the situations weren't working out during these turtle fights. So they started moving down to the bottom side. We didn't see that from Ultra Legends. Arlott could have been the main damage source dealer coming in from early to mid. And I think that would have been a huge game changer as long as they understand how their comp works. You need that Arlott to be in the middle of that fight. You need to start throwing your abilities out after he's kind of consumed all those stacks.
Yeah. Now I know Team Liquid won in this one, but nice. I feel like early on, you could sense a little bit of frustration with Liquid. There were some slightly off timings with their entries.
I want to say I expect that for day one for a lot of the teams, honestly. Like,
to be fair,
you know, like they've been scrimming, they've been preparing, they've been in their own respective boot camps. But ultimately, when you get to the tournament, you know, I kind of expect some of to dust off whatever cobwebs they would have. I don't know if these guys still have any cobwebs, but you know, but also just adjusting to the tournament setting and being on these devices and everything else. So, yeah, maybe. But I think it's expected for all the teams that will be competing from Group A and Group B. Now, I do believe that with what Ultra Legends showed in the early game, there's some promise there, and hopefully they're not too shaken on how, you know, the mid to late game just went out of their hands so quickly, because again, Team Liquid is known for that, and is known for getting into what we call that stampede form, and they just go and end games like this. I mean, how do you reset and adjust from that, I think, is one of the biggest things for Ultra Legends here.
Yeah, hopefully if Ultra Legends decides to go for a draft similar to this, they need one more carry with them. They need something to supplement a little bit of early to mid-game damage so that your mid to the late game transition isn't as harsh when the opposing team has already power spiked.
Which is why I didn't like their second half of the draft, right? I love their first half of the draft. They still kept it a little bit more flexible. However, coming into the second half, it's like, man, you're really pushing yourself in a corner and you're highly dependent on your mechanics. As you can see, they can push buttons, but it's also clear that they're a little immature at how they kind of make the read on the game in comparison to Team Liquid, who is like shifting attentions, are able to kind of turn things around and more so play around that tempo, which is something that Ultra Legends needed to do for a composition like this.
Yeah, I feel like the Matilda pick actually in the second phase was a little bit too laser focused on what JP could pick. Yeah. It's like they were thinking more about let's take away a JP hero than what else do we need for us.
And what was their last one was the Zetian, right?
Yeah, it was the Zetian, yes.
What would have worked better than, in the mid lane against a Farsa?
Well, personally for me, I think Zetian is okay in these types of matchups. She has enough range to not have to like forcefully take trades against the Farsa in the laning stages. She feather airstrikes, you press your ult. That's basically the general gist of it. I think that the order of picks should have changed. They should have picked the Zetian first, and then afterwards hold up and say, we already see the Lancelot, so it doesn't really make sense if we do see the Matilda get paired over on the opposite side for Liquid, and they could have responded later down the line. So again, that's just me personally. They could have started switching things up, put Arla into the support section, then put the Akai into the EXP, and then pick a Fredrin up for themselves if they wanted to, or more damage oriented, kind of up to them.
Yeah, that's it for our takes for game number 1. Remember, this is a best of 3, so we have potentially 2 more coming up. There are a lot of teams here in MSC and a lot of journeys to lead to where we are today, and this is the journeys of one of those teams.
Hi guys, I'm Oheb, the gold laner of Team Liquid Philippines. Being here in EWC 2025 feels amazing because it's my first time being here, and I think we have a great chance at getting the trophy for the Philippines.
Very excited to have them back on the stage. More importantly, I think it's great to see that this is one of the few titles that they are looking to conquer, right?
I think this is not the strongest form of Team Liquid yet because we haven't won an EWC title yet. If we win this EWC in 2025, I can confidently say that this is the strongest form of Team Liquid. My team now makes me feel like I belong to the team, and we're so close and connected to each other that even if we don't talk to each other in comms in game, we just know what we're gonna do.
This a new age in MLBB. Brusco goes down, there was a blaze in the skies, but it's too late. The cavalry reclaim the throne, stampeding through. Stallion.
I think this is the year that we might have a shot at winning the MSC title.
My expectations for Team Liquid? Yeah, I guess that's a little bit of a fearless forecast. If you ask me, my expectations for them, yeah, but I don't want to jinx it anymore, so I'm not going to expound on that. So, yeah, Team Liquid was still humble as ever, even Oheb admitting that they don't want to say this is their strongest form until they win the championship. But you gotta admit, they're looking pretty dang good so far.
I think looking good is one thing, but we need to see them be really stretched, right? I think that's the only time we're going to really be able to tell whether they are in their prime form. And so far, even a couple of missed mechanics here and there, like really is like, this is the first game. Let's just warm up the fingers a little bit, get the joints going.
Yeah, that's what I think. But nonetheless, Team Liquid Philippines, you guys have seen it all around. A lot of people have them, at that top spot, if not the top 2, top 3. And so far from what we've seen, I think, especially when we get through a couple of their games, I think that's really going to be able to gauge just how strong they are. And that can be said for a lot of the teams here that are competing. But again, this is the group with the 6 champions. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's for all of Group A.
Yeah. We all know that we are in the middle of a massive international event right now, but in your games there is also a great event going on as well with the Dino Planet event for All-Star 2025. It's been going on since June. If you haven't logged on, you're really gonna have to catch up. There's a mini game in there with a little dinosaur hopping around. If you want to get a really sick Popple and Koopa skin, go ahead and pick it up. But yeah, join us for the event. tournament. There's a lot of good prizes, a lot of surprises in the map, so check that out. Now, as we head into game number 2 for Ultra Legends, do you think there's enough room in there that we could see a surprise here? Are they gonna suddenly show a different hand, maybe something that they're saving a little bit later in the tournament? Because, come on, what better way to make a statement than to take a game from Team Liquid in the very first match of MSC 2025 group stages, right? Do you show your hand now, or what? What does Ultra Legends need to do here?
Well, based on what we've seen in game number 1, I think, playing a highly early game composition, if you're going to make those 5-man rotations really make it count, at the end of the day, it's going to be boiled down to simple MOBA fundamentals, right? Trade well, be effective, and if you can close out the game really, really fast against Team Liquid, that would kind of be ideal.
I think their early game already from game 1 was like pretty impressive. I think for a lot of people that didn't get to watch them at all, we're probably sitting there at home and be like, wow, okay, they do have some fight in them. So I would love to see that be the priority in a way, and you can already see that happening, right? First, right out of the gate, let's go ahead and ban that Lancelot. Take him out of the picture.
Well, I feel like that's a little bit too much of a prio ban there, but I mean, big respect begets respect. Sometimes you just really got to take it out, but interesting. That opens up a massive pool of heroes available now.
It does open up a massive pool, but I think the real question is where are the priorities, right? TLPH, first off, getting rid of the Boxia, totally okay. I want to see whether Ultra Legends, because what we see from very fresh and new teams coming down to not only international stage, but also professional play, is that they tend to have the habit of, if we ban it on red side, we're also going to ban it on blue side. And it seems to be the case here as well, right? Get rid of the Uranus, let's see. If the next bans are looking along the lines of like, what are the biggest? Was Phoveus that big of a problem? I felt like they handled Sanford pretty well, despite the bad matchup.
I think the Phoveus, like you don't need to ban him out. Do they still go with or do they want to prioritize maybe the Jushin? Like, is that maybe the plan here? I don't know if that's the first big priority.
Be, if they did it on red side, there's a chance that they do it on blue side too.
Let's see if they do decide to go for that. A Uranus ban even though you're on the blue side. Usually, if available, teams on the blue side would want to pick up the Uranus and the EXP lane right away. Very first pick, but with them taking it out, what are they trying to signal? That they are going to be leaning a little bit more towards the Assassins now? That they want freedom in the jungle to just farm?
I think they still want the Arlet. That's my suspicion here. I don't know whether it's going to be first pick worthy. Oh, but then they also get rid of the Kimmy too, so I guess they could be looking for like Farsa opener against TLPH, kind of, rip the page out of their book, see how it works for them.
It's two strong first pick options, taking away the blue side for Ultra Legends. So maybe they're trying to whittle down what TLPH could get on the swing back with the first 2 picks on the red side. Team Liquid takes out the 1-1.
They take the Farsa.
They take away the Farsa.
That means Kalia is going to be open for the side of TLPH, though.
Yeah.
So again, it really boils down to where is your priority in terms of the meta picks. I think the Farsa opener is okay. I would have preferred the Kalia just a little bit more, mainly because of the way that they interact. The pick-off styles of compositions are really, really good, but I think Ultra Legends might be thinking a little bit ahead, right? If you get the Kalia, you still need a big damage dealer, and usually it's paired up with the Farsa. So you just take one component away.
So Liquid could go pick up a Hayabusa for Carltease if they want to. They're not going to lean in on that. They go for Juice and Arlot. Lots of control from Liquid.
Yeah, take the control. I don't know, this is in a way a little swap from what we saw in game 1, at least with the maybe overall arcing game plan of the composition, because you get an Arlot, you get a Jushin, you get a ton of utility yourselves with those. And then for Ultra Legends, it looks like they might be leaning towards that damage-centric lineup with the Farsa already. We'll see how they go ahead and build the rest of this first phase out. They also take the Granger, because I was almost expecting the Granger to get picked up in that first couple picks from TLPH to go over to OHEB, but they go Phoveus Granger.
Oh no.
Are you worried?
I am worried because I think that TLPH, they're going to throw Arlot into the support position. They can get the CC now to get a winning matchup into the Phoveus, but that might not necessarily work out for their comp, right? Because there's still the possibility that, hey, even if Arlot isn't thrown into the EXP, we could pick up Fredrin for ourselves, and now we have a really deadly mid-trio to kind of move across the map and just basically CC people to the ground, and every time you CC, you get free damage.
Yeah, so I think Team Liquid are weighing the options of whether or not they're going to pick up the Fredrin now, so they get the Fredrin Arlot combo alongside the Juicin. Or, as we tossed up in the air earlier, they pick up the Hayabusa for Carltease, who now has an easy backline access. So Ultra Legends, hopefully their comms are on point, because if they send their Phovis and whatever the roamer is going to be a little bit too early, Carl TZ is going to be eating good in the back with the Granger and the far side being left open.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you ban out as a Lancelot. He's still going to go for an assassin if he can. He goes to Hayabusa, who's working great for this game plan against a Farsa and a Granger. So, yeah, like you mentioned, that's something that Ultra Legends is going to want to have to keep in track of. So maybe is the God of Conscious viable here for them, or at least another tanky hero to go ahead and help protect that backline if they have to, or, you know, you kind of have to juggle the Phoveus and whatever other tanky member you have. Maybe it's still utility jungle they go with.
Yeah, I think Gatot and Juicing together in the mid would be good. Good harass.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's a good bridge.
So smart. So smart. TLPH are making sure that their options are extremely wide here, right? Because I feel like if they got rid of the Gatot, I feel like the onus is on Ultra Legends to get rid of the Gatot, but the Cho to make sure that the mid lane is almost guaranteed to be within their control, depending on what that mid duo is going to be looking like. Concussive Blast style of supports come to the forefront of my mind, right? If they want Kalia, they can absolutely do it too, but the question is, where's the damage going to come from? And I think that's the biggest problem that I have if TLPH are thinking along those lines. I think they're not even going to touch Kalia, to be fair, for this upcoming round, but we'll see. Ultra Legends now getting rid of the Moskov on their side, priority going over to TLPH on red side for the second phase.
What does Oheb play?
He's got like a good amount of options here still.
Irithil's banned out, Moskov, Kimmy, Granger's taken. Does he actually go the Harith, who hasn't worked? I know you guys, is it you, Ryan Moore, that's not a fan of the Harith?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the
You're
Harith.
not a fan of the Harith.
He can still play Bruno or Beatrix, to be fair. If he goes Beatrix, it's almost guaranteed to be Kalia on the other side, or they can pick up Kalia now, and that's the signal.
But there's so much reach on the side of Ultra Legends that either a Bruno or a Carry, which are like on the top of my list right now, is going to have a lot of difficulty. And considering that you don't see the roam yet for Ultra Legends, best to save the gold pick for Oheb last.
I think for now, it's pretty straightforward what the composition wants to do, right? I'm expecting Beatrix at the very end for TLPH. Ultra Legends.
Harith.
Very nice. Oh, they go for Harith instead?
I threw it out there.
Yep.
They want to go for damage diversity. I guess they do see the Joy on the opposite end. Tigreal is also a little annoying to deal with, but I think Ultra Legends, very standard like Southeast Asian style of composition that we're very used to seeing in our own MPLs.
Yep. I like the draft shown off by these two teams, Ultra Legends. Let's see if they'll be able to execute. Gideon and Naisu, you guys have a little bit more time to expound, and well, you're going to be casting. I'm just going to be watching.
No worries, man. You enjoy being a fan for now. You and me, Naisu, we're going to be heading on over to game number 2 in just a little bit, but looking and breaking down these final compositions. What do you think about TLPH? Because I think that's the biggest question mark with the way that they were positioning themselves. It's like, we could have some really nice combos. Yes, it does come at a cost, but I don't think it's that bad if we play well.
I like it, man. I like TLPH because they have pick-off potential with the Kalea, and you guys mentioned that quite a bit through the draft. But then you can fight really well into a Final Slash Zaman Force combination, and then you have a Jushin to help set that up. So I like TLPH's draft here.
Okay, let's head on into it. The Mid-Season Cup 2025 continues here at the Esports World Cup live in Riyadh. The second match between Ultra Legends, now on the blue side, faced off against TLPH on the red side. Man, blue on blue.
It's okay. Wait, what about you, Gideon? What do you think here? Who are you signing with here?
I think my biggest problem is the lack of potential damage from the side of Team Liquid, right? Like, I agree that Carl TZ is looking for these like one-off pickoffs.
Right.
But then when the fight is done, what happens then, right?
Yeah.
If Sanji ends up collapsing in the middle of that fight, if Oheb, who's probably not going to participate for at least 9 minutes.
Whoa, JP getting really close. First blood for Throwboy. Ultra Legends will pick up an early kill from JP.
And all this because overextending on a Little Wanderer. That was a little strange, not going to lie, but hey, still recoverable.
Okay, Throwboy once again looking for Sanford. Will get the flicker, uses the retribution as well. Still gonna be going. Couple hits away for Sanford. Oh, Throwboy picks up another kill. He's 2-0 early on.
He's 2-0. He ends up missing a cart minion, which is gonna really suck for him. I mean, what to do? What poor Sanford? Can't do much about it. Let's see how Ultra Legends continue to play, because this is where... Whoa, okay. All right. Bit of a mistake there coming up from Kunok. Wasn't expecting him to die, but I thought he had wings by wings, so... Oh, a little unfortunate there.
Yeah. Up here, up top, Oheb delaying, and there's the shadow kill from Carl TZ. The timing on point. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, JP goes down again, but still, Sanford joining the fight now. Dark Lord takes a couple hits. Won't be be able to survive that, though, as Sanford now converts. So Team Liquid finding their own, I guess, through this aggression. Sanford could be in trouble, gets thrown into the turret, takes a shot, and will fall.
Oh, Sanford, he's a little sad about it. Not level 4.
Oh, under the turret, Oheb, 1v1. Farrell, well, he's going to be fine. And there is Throwboy to punish Oheb. So we see Team Liquid being very aggressive here early on, Gideon.
Yeah, I see the idea that Team Liquid is going for at this point. But hey, I mean, the meta has kind of shifted. Unfortunately, Old Harith probably would have gotten the kill there. But I'm just saying, Old Harith would have been totally fine. But I think that Team Liquid is trying to kind of pull Ultra Legends apart, right? Really get them heated up on these matchups. Because in terms of what they are losing, despite the solo laners getting kind of shafted here, it doesn't really matter, right? Because Sanford, at the end of the day, he's not a main damage dealer. He's either a cleanup or a big initiator. Karltzy has been able to progressively get more and more farm. Sanji is the one who's not dying and has the full level lead. And look, Quinox, again, he's trying, but every single time Karl shows up, he's forced to use an ability.
Yeah, he's... and every time that Flicker is down, the timing is going to be there for Team Liquid to go ahead and punish it once again. So now up here in the gold lane, Pharaoh won't escape that one. JP comes in to make sure they secure that kill. So Oheb, JP doing work. Still a minute away on the objective though, so Team Liquid will go ahead and continue to put pressure up here on the turret for now.
Now, most people... Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see how this plays out.
Sanji could be in trouble here. Throwboy has quite a bit of damage, but enough crowd control will keep him alive. Sanji relying on the team here. Great Tsunami Slam. Now Oheb waiting for the rest of the team. Drops the Zaman Force. Ricecrim forced off of the turret. Farah here trying to keep it up together. They do.
And now they back away. I love how Team Liquid is playing this, right? Pull them apart, and people know their matchups here. Don't get me wrong. Sanford knows that he's basically not winning his matchup, and that's totally fine.
Whoa! The smooth final slash into the mid lane. Be able to pick up Quanok. Oh boy, I don't know. He's going to jump in for Sanji. Pops the beats here. Sanford again with a stun, and there's the slam forward. But Throwboy, there's an implosion. Still in the mid lane, going to be forced out. Oh, Sanford will get punished for earlier on. Dark Lord still a part of the fight. I don't think they can pick up a kill, though. He's tanky enough. The rest of Ultra Legends joining the mid lane. They're going to drop down the Feathered Airstrike. JP trying to get some distance, but will fall anyway. A good fight back from Ultra Legends.
So very scrappy here. Really nicely played by Dark Lord. He was able to save his jungler by knocking up Sanji, so he wasn't able to get that final pickup onto Throwboy. Either way, just look at how this game is playing out, right? It's chaotic on purpose by design.
Dropping the Zaman Force. A couple of the members. TLPH, final slash will find Quanok. Quanok won't be able to escape as he falls now. So they were making a way up here towards Oheb, but they'll lose one member for Ultra Legends.
Yeah, they've manipulated the way Ultra Legends are looking to play, right? They want to stay on this top side as much as possible. They gave up that turtle so they can get Karltzy to get the initial push down on the bottom side, and that's how they want to play.
Again, Implosion to try to counterplay this. A Flicker to stay alive. Ricecrim's going to be fine. A lot of this back and forth with the abilities and the ultimates. So far, still a lot of attention up there on top. Karltzy going to make his way here towards Throwboy. Good drop of the beat. Still, they're going to fight it out. Shadow Kill going to be used, and Karltzy is going to have to get out of here. He's focused down under half health. Dark Lord jumping back in, goes back with Quad Shadow, and will survive for now. Pops the Rejuvenate, and Throwboy forced out. Sanji could be in bad position now as he tried to help Karltzy. Still trying to bob and weave through it, but can't survive as Dark Lord will take him down under the tier 2.
That one, bit of a mistake from Team Liquid's side that they needed to decide whether to disengage or not. But I think Sanji was confident he could take out Throwboy, and that ended up putting him in a pretty awkward spot. Regardless, Oheb is going to get a T1 on top side. They've unlocked him, and now the main win condition for the side of Team Liquid is now on the loose.
This is a very different Throwboy in game 2. And maybe that's just the fact that he's on a different style of hero, you know, for the jungle. But he's a lot more aggressive. He can be a lot more of value, I feel like, on this Joy. Once again, the mid lane is going to be the focus. Ricecrim doesn't have a flicker, so don't expect a surprise implosion from him just yet. Feathered Airstrike. Oh, a huge final slash from Sanford again. They're going to jump in, collapsing down on Dark Lord, and you can't withstand the damage. It's a wipeout from Team Liquid.
And what did I say? Doesn't matter how badly Sanford loses, as long as he lands a good final slash, the fight's basically done for. Really good culmination of abilities here. Let's just watch it one more time. This is after the final slash. The big problem is that if Dark Lord isn't able to separate the battle lines, really create space for his team, that's when we see Ultra Legends start to break in formation. Right Scream can look for these big engages, but if Quinnock gets caught, their main anchor starts to fall. Right now, Ultra Legends need to recognize that Quinnock is getting highly targeted, so they need to make sure that Pharaoh and Quinnock are on two separate angles, if not, have some decent space in between each other.
Okay, they do take this orange buff, a final slash on Dark Lord. They're going to go on the retreat here. I'm not sure if this is where they want to fight, but Throwboy already quite low. Gets picked up by Carl. Carl pops the shadow kill under the turret. He's going to get implosion and caught out, though. He won't escape that as Pharaoh picks up a kill, but they're going to force the fight under the tier 2 anyway. A stampede under the fight. Now Rise Crimp will survive. Quanok just flapping away. Wings by wings. Sanji's not going to let him go. He's going to drop that lantern right in there. Takes a couple shots himself. Quanok flickers out, but he's going to get whittled down. And Sanji knows it as he picks up that kill.
Outplayed by Sanji. Really nicely done there. Forced out his flicker as well to try and turn the tide. I mean, Quinnock, he just needed to land 2 more shots at the very end to guarantee the kill. So far, Ultra Legends, they're still grouping up a little too close for my comfort. But I need to talk about item builds. What is Dark Lord doing with his build? That's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Why are we going and deciding, hey, I want to go for Brute Force Breastplate as my first item? Like, sure, I get it, you know, get a little bit of tenacity. Sanji gonna be in your face, gonna be a problem picking you up all the time, but like that movement speed ain't saving you, especially when you're dealing with Sanford alongside to kind of extend the CC.
Tsunami Slam once again. Rise Crim will pop the implosion, be able to catch him out. Sacred Hammer 2, JP still alive. Fight going in anyway. Rise Crim finally falls, and they collapse down on him. Throwboy looking for his own option, but he's gonna get stunned, and he's go down to 3 fall for Ultra Legends. They have no way to fight in that choke point.
I think right now they need to use Pharaoh as a means to open up the map safely. They need Rice Cream to also open up the map. He's fighting some good, don't get me wrong, good implosions, but they need to stop Sanford from canceling the Feathered Airstrike.
Oh, having a final slash. Again, under the tier 3, Team Liquid does it again in game 2.
I mean, they're getting farmed at this point. Team Liquid, they've got their timings, and they know how to extend a lead. Ultra Legends need a mistake from Team Liquid if they want to bounce back. They need to catch Oheb somehow. They know that he doesn't have his Purify any longer, so with Rice Cream, Implosion plus Flicker, he has an opportunity to turn this around. A huge shutdown on Oheb could change the course of this game.
And it seems like a difficult task, especially when you got 2 Purifies over here, a whole lot of displacement crowd control in Sanford alone, but then you have JP finding the right marks here. And mind you, you're down 10,000 gold again. So very difficult place to be in if you're Ultra Legends as they get ready to go ahead and defend against this first Lord push.
It's the checkmate angle, right? Oheb 6-1 and 11. They've got 35 more seconds to force a play onto him before his Purify is back up. And I think that Ultra Legends, if they have the chance, you might as well go for it.
Might be a Hail Mary play is what they have to go for. Flicker is up. The shield in the mid lane already popped. They hold on to this top one. But the Lord's going to make its way. And we've seen this before where Team Liquid will fight and force this situation on Ultra Legends here. Getting a glimpse at it too, I just, again, I don't know. Even their front line, whether it's Rise Crim or Dark Lord, will be taken out so quickly here.
Yeah, and Quinnock finally getting the glowing wand.
Conceal going to be used. Is he actually going to initiate this Feathered Airstrike use? And they go in. Tsunami Slam. Meanwhile, Throwboy going against Carl Teasy with a Shadow Kill. Carl Teasy gets that. Joins the fight. Pharah's gone too. They're collapsing down under the turret. Rice Crim the only one left. But that's going to be it as Team Liquid will sweep the series. And it's a maniac in day 1 for Oheb. The waves are pushing on in as they go ahead and get together. And the stampede is true. A sweep for the series.
Disgusting play coming in from Oheb. His mechanics really just showing like, hey, maybe Harith hasn't really changed as much as we thought. You just got to be that good at the hero. But I got to give it to Sanford, right? Despite losing in the early